This is a bowling ball, and in this video, I'm gonna have 2 weeks to turn this ball eco-friendly. The average bowling ball insert takes about 200 years to biodegrade, but mine that I'm printing only average about 2 months to biodegrade. Will my performance with the new finger inserts hold up? Or is there a reason why we haven't gone down this path before? Let's find out. Let's go over the challenges. First, I need to create a 3D model for the actual fingertip. Second, I need to print and secure them into the bowling ball. And third, I need to bowl over a 200 game. But before that, we gotta throw this chair away and get warmed up. I'm so sorry you had to see that. Anyways, today's Monday, which means I only have 4 days left of this challenge. And honestly, I'm kind of rushed. I did nothing over the weekend. I was very piled up with work, so that's why I didn't do anything. But I'm using Tinkercad, which is a bit easier than Blender, I feel like. And I don't really need a complex model for this, so we're just going to use Tinkercad. Anyways, we are going to use about a cylinder. And we need this 0.9 inches, so we are going to shrink this down like crazy. I don't know why it is really tiny in this app, but it is, and I did not measure how many inches I have to go down deep-wise in this ball. Google comes and saves the day. It's 25.4 inches. I think this should be a good model, so I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go print this and check back in when it's done. Not gonna lie, challenge 1 was pretty easy, but don't get too ahead of yourself because challenge 2 might just be the hardest one of this entire video. Alright, so we have the ball here, and now we're gonna be taking out the fingertips and replacing them and taking measurements. I think I'm just gonna do this all around the outside of the ball until all the glue comes off, or I could just poke it in. That worked better than I expected. Pan the camera. This one down. See, insert right there. I love. Okay, here it goes. Out. Go with the other one. And now we have 2 very hollow holes in my bowling ball. Going into this segment of the video, I didn't really think it would be that hard, but little did I know this would be really painful to do. I had to print these fingertips about 3 times. Each time took about 8 hours, which, if you can't do math, that's a day, and that's a long time, and that's more than any other part in this entire video, probably combined times 10. But after a long printing time, honestly, I could say the outcome was definitely worth it. These looked a lot better than I actually thought they were going to look, and they actually felt a lot better than I thought they would. And as you can see coming up, this is the final product inside of my ball. I like the yellow color on it. I think it complements well, so let's go bowl with it. And just like that, challenge 2 has been completed, and I'm not going to lie, that was pretty hard. But the next challenge, which is bowling over a 200, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little scared about that one. While I'm bowling this game in the background, I just want to go over a couple pros and cons of using these fingertips. One problem I have with these fingertips is that I couldn't fit my finger all the way in the ball. Now this is kind of my fault because I didn't print it right, but I didn't really feel like printing it a 4th time. And I could see this being a problem for a lot of people because, you know, they have finger problems, but it wasn't a problem for me. I bowled with balls that are too small for my fingers, too big. So really any kind of problem with my fingertips, I don't really have, which is why I kind of wanted to make this video, because maybe there's people out there that could use this. But I really think the biggest problem with this is just how it feels. It's not rubber, and rubber is the only thing that goes into a bowling ball and feels good. Plastic doesn't really have that same feel. When you throw a plastic insert, it kind of falls off your finger, it scratches it if you throw it the wrong way, and you tend to pull it a lot to the right, which is why in a lot of these clips you see me getting high strikes on the pocket, because I can't really throw this ball very good. But now we have to move on to the pros, which there are a lot more of. 1, you're helping the environment. That's always a good thing. 2, it didn't really affect my score. I didn't feel any weird things bowling with this besides my fingers scratching a little, but if you sanded down this, I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem. 3, it's actually very cheap to make one of these. I used about $4 in PLA filament, which is nothing compared to the $35 to $40 you have to pay in a pro shop to get your fingertip inserts. I could sit here and list 10 other pros with these, but I don't want to drag out the video. So yes, eco-friendly fingertips do work in your bowling ball, and if you have a 3D printer at home, I highly suggest you do this. It is so much cheaper than getting one in a pro shop. I finished the game off with a pretty ugly pull, but besides for that, I thought I played really good. I ended up finishing that game with a 256, which is way above the target for this challenge, which means we complete it and win! All lived happily ever after. The end. Any questions, guys? For the last time, climate change isn't real!